Welcome, audio fans. It's time for another episode of the podcast, presented by J&J Production Studios, your home for entertainment with your favorite shows available every week. And now, it's time to begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello and welcome everybody to a brand new episode of the What's Up Bro Sports Show, brought to you, of course, by J&J Production Studios. As previously mentioned, your one true home for entertainment. I'm Sam Crow here with you guys tonight. Wanted to get this episode out because if you weren't following, we had some amazingly incredible, wild, I guess you could say, finishes in the NBA finals coming in, or the divisional round. I'm not sure. Let me see. I think it states on here. I have this page pulled up for that reason. I'm not too fluent with that. Conference finals. The playoffs are coming to an end. Excuse me. Bottom line. And first of all, and let me try to do this properly. A huge congratulations to two teams in particular, the Dallas Mavericks and the Indiana Pacers. What a show. I said it before, if you guys caught the last episode we did, as we were coming down and dwindling down to the final teams, now we're down to our final four, which we'll announce first before I get into it here. Our final four teams to see who will challenge for the NBA playoff finals are the Boston Celtics, who will host the Indiana Pacers. I believe the first game, if I saw the schedule correctly, is on Tuesday. Yes, it is. Tuesday, May 21st, tomorrow, in fact, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ESPN, ESPN2. Tip-off begins there to see who claims the East title. And that probably means, on Wednesday, the other team we're going to talk about, too, in fact, in the surprise here, the Minnesota Timberwolves will host the Dallas Mavericks at 8:30 p.m. on TNT. Wednesday, May 22nd, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to see who will claim the West. But let's talk about this. This was an absolute stunner, I guess you could say, to say the least. As I was mentioning there, I predicted there could be some upsets there, but I did not foresee what was going to happen and what actually did happen. Let's start with the first team, obviously, here. The first game that actually brought to our attention. And I got to back up here. I think it was it Saturday? It was Saturday night in what would be a potential tire for the Thunder, who are the number one seed in the West, who fell behind. Needed to win to prolong the series with the Dallas Mavericks. Fell short when Dallas, in a late-stage effort, defeated the Thunder 117 to 116, shocking the world by knocking out the number one seeded Thunder, punching their ticket to the conference finals to see if they can return to the championship, or I think they were there once. What an upset. I did not see this one coming, to be quite honest. I think I might have casually thrown that out there to say it could be a possibility, but never, ever in a million years dreamed it would be a reality. But here we are, and I gotta say, if you're the Thunder, and especially Thunder fans, what a gut punch. And I'm not trying to rag on anybody. I'm so sorry about that. It's really hard to get so close to just fall apart and to lose at the last second there. But it does happen. We've seen this throughout playoff history from multiple sports over the years. You just never know. That's why it's always hard to make predictions. It's always hard to really guess. And I still don't know. I guess that's the fun about sports when the sports bets and stuff, when they try to see who wins what. I guess that's the fun of it. But it's got to be equally as frustrating. But I know too, when you have a team that has so much potential there, and I mentioned it earlier too, the Thunder looked really good. I did not foresee them initially at the start of the season being a top contender, but they climbed the chains very, very quickly. And again, they should be proud, should be high praise and high kudos. You shouldn't feel bad about it. I mean, again, you're going to feel bad, but it should be a spark to Thunder fans saying that maybe this is their time where they actually have something they can build upon, which Thunder fans have been hoping for ever since the trio of Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook, who were thought to be saviors of the time back then. I could see it too. They were a hot young team back in the day too, but this could be the time. So, I know it's cliche, and I know people hate saying it, but there's always next year. You have the draft, free agency, maybe Thunder can lure some players there that'll help. But hold your head high and confidently knowing that you had a good season. Because you have to, otherwise it's going to be downright miserable for you. But congrats to Dallas. They go to the winner, another upset, I guess you could kind of say, which we'll talk about since we're in the same conference there. How about the Minnesota Timberwolves there? Now, I said they looked pretty good going into the playoffs. And thought there could be possibilities there. But Denver's a tough team to beat. Denver was the current reigning champion. There will be a new NBA champion crowned this year. They took the series all the way down to the last game. And I got to say, at one point, and if I remember correctly, let me find this. Let's see if I have the... let's see if it's in this article. I know I wanted to get this right. Did I say this correctly? Yeah, here we go. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The Timberwolves were down 20 points to the Denver Nuggets that's when I had checked the score. I think that was near the end of the second quarter before the third. And my thought at that point was too, this is unreal that Denver's gonna win it, which wouldn't shock me. Denver's a good team, and that's the team I thought would be a threat this year too. But to come back from a 20-point deficit, I gotta say, there's something special about a team that can do that. And these Timberwolves teams, these players are young. And they are... Oops, I beg your pardon. I'm doing a couple things here. I want to make sure there's no volume. There we go. A lot of potential there. And I know they're only, I think, the third seed going in. Don't write them off. Just like the Pacers now, which we're going to talk about next. The next surprising upset there. But it'd be nice to see them go all the way, because Minnesota has yet to win a championship in their team's history, franchise history. So we'll see. But kudos to them for that well-fought game. These games were close, especially down to the final second. So these teams, you guys, all these athletes should be proud. Again, even if you weren't the winning team, you just have to know that you've got something special made there when you can make these games as exciting. And for us fans, that's what we want to see. That's what's really important. But speaking of that, now switching to the Eastern Conference there, the Indiana Pacers, the 6th seed, knocking out the team that was, for me, a surprise, the New York Knicks, who I thought could have potential there, sliding in at number 2, grabbing that away from the Bucks. What a game. They actually, let me make sure I got the scores right here. In the elimination game, you could say that, because that's what it was. The series was tied. The Pacers beating up on the Knicks 130 to 109. Also, roughly mentioned, I forgot to say too, the Timberwolves beating the Nuggets 98 to 90. So again, close one, but there's something special there too. Now, I'm a Boston fan. I love to see Boston do it. You guys might have heard me say it. I'm hoping the prediction that Boston wins it this year. I won't be entirely sad if they don't, because there's other great teams I'd love to see win it, especially teams that haven't had a title before. So it's just being a fan of Boston and seeing what they've done and what they've accumulated and put together. They've invested a lot. This would be a disappointment if they don't make it, but you never know. And the way that these playoffs have been going, one can only say. I'm going to predict this right now from the Final Four. And again, this is just my prediction. You guys can comment. Let me know. Let us know here at the studio there if you disagree, you agree, what your thoughts are. I'm going to say the NBA Finals will be the Boston Celtics against the Dallas Mavericks. That's going to be my projection right now. Again, no rhyme or reason. I have no facts to back that up whatsoever because it really could be a crapshoot and we don't know ultimately who would come on top. And again, you think it's going to go one way, it goes completely the other. So we'll have to see. But that's my projection there. But again, just been a hell of a run in the playoffs, an exciting run, and these teams deserve a lot of praise, a lot of credit. They work hard all year. But it's really hard to get so close and have to start all over. So we understand it from that regard. But Yeah, I mean, this should shape up to be, no matter who makes it to the NBA Finals, this should shape up to be quite an interesting series. And may the best team win. Obviously, that's what we always want to say. But it should be a lot of fun. So, yeah, there you have it. The Final Four is set. Game 1, and in case you missed that, let's go over it again, just so we have it. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals starts tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and ESPN2. At Boston Garden in Massachusetts, the Celtics host the Pacers. And then Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. on TNT, the Timberwolves in Minneapolis, Minnesota at the Target Center will host the Dallas Mavericks to begin Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. We'll see. First team to reach 4 punches their ticket to the NBA championship, one step closer to that illustrious trophy. We're going to take a short pause here, you guys. We're going to come back and then talk a little bit about... I talked a little bit about this last time. I know there's been some more story arc about it. This is probably one of the premier, most exciting stories. We're going to talk about LeBron James coming back. What will he do? What won't he do? What's going to happen next? I want to touch a little bit about the story about what's going on with Phoenix, because I know that's been a huge topic article there. Kevin Durant, a longtime star like LeBron, has been playing a long career too. Will he stay? Will he go? So many rumors flying about. We'll talk all that more, and then we'll look ahead to next season just to kind of give you a glimpse of who I think will be teams in contention next year to wrap things up. But hopefully this gives you guys some great entertainment for a surprise for you on Monday night. Again, we have time coming up here, and again, as we, for me specifically, not so much for Big Hoss, moving studio spaces will afford me the chance to allow us to collectively work to get more content out, which is what our plan has been. It's going to be an epic summer. We have lots of stuff coming on there as well, so we hope you guys will look forward to that. We'll get into some minor, maybe some things that we talk about too, some announcements when we come back to, but we'll also have our commercials playing so you guys can catch that as well. Hope you guys are having a great start to your week. Hard to believe it's Monday again. Where does the time go? But sooner than later, the weekend will be coming upon us again. And of course, as always, your favorite gents, Sam Crow and Big Hoss, will be back to entertain you guys with plenty more. Lots of fun and exciting things yet to come coming up as well. Hope you guys are excited for that. We are. We are absolutely stoked about it. And we really hope that you guys will enjoy this journey with us. We love you all so much. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here and continuously being here. We look forward to meeting so many more of you. This has been a great community. It's growing, and we're just eternally grateful for every single one of you guys. So thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate you more than you probably will ever know. Perfect time now if you guys need. Take a bathroom break. Get yourself a snack. Come on back, though. Don't miss what's coming up next. We'll be right back for more. The What's Up Bros Show. Timeout. 30-second timeout. Coming in here. The clock is ticking. What's going to happen next? Come on back. Stay tuned to find out more. See you in just a minute.
Do what you want, do what you want, do it. Do what you want, do what you want, do it.
Hey there! Enjoying the show? Do you want even more great content? Then check out linktree.com/J_J Production Studios, where you'll find everything you need for the entertainment you deserve, such as links to your favorite streaming services where our podcast shows are featured. Find and connect with us on your favorite social media and live streaming platforms. The official studio channel on YouTube. Like and subscribe today. Our official studio store where you can find all kinds of great merchandise. Would you like to support us? You can do so by getting your own exclusive membership on our Patreon account. Do you want to ensure you don't miss a single bit of detailed information? Then have it sent directly to you by joining our emailing list. Stay up to date on all the latest from J&J Production Studios. Thank you so much for listening. We love and appreciate all your support, and until next time, we'll see you at the show.
We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
Hey there, do you love podcasts? Are you having difficulty finding the right ones to listen to? Is it frustrating when you're trying to pick that show? You know, the one where everyone must collectively agree on? Like finding a good movie or TV show to watch, do you look for the most jam-packed entertainment that's possible to find in a single episode every week? Then search no more, and welcome to J&J Production Studios. It's our business to provide the best entertainment and information available for you. Whether you're sitting in that comfy chair with your favorite snack and beverage listening live each week, or downloading your favorite show episodes to take with you on the go while you're at work, exercising, or even just to play at night for you to fall asleep to. There's something for everyone, no matter what size, shape, or age you are. Visit www.linktree.com/J_J Production Studios to find all the streaming services where our podcast shows can be found. You can also connect with us on your favorite social media platforms, including Facebook and Twitter. You can join our public Discord server and chat directly with us. But wait, there's more. You can subscribe to our official YouTube channel and be notified every time a new show is broadcast. Wish you could have some studio souvenirs or collectibles? Guess what? You can. Visit the official store where you can purchase items featuring your favorite podcast and show hosts. Would you like to help support us? You can do that by getting your very own exclusive membership on our Patreon account. All proceeds go to help us upgrade our shows, which will only enhance the entertainment provided to you. Thank you so much. We're excited to have you as an audience. Your love and support are always appreciated. We'll see you soon.
break time is over. We're so glad you stayed tuned. Now back to the action as the show is set to resume.
And with that, halftime is over. We need like a whistle sound. That might be something that we add here eventually, but you get the gist. If you guys are just tuning in, welcome. This is the What's Up Bros Sports Show. I'm Sam Crow, here to host with you guys tonight. We are talking about the exciting conclusion of the latest round of the NBA playoffs, which just wrapped up. The finals now, the conference finals are coming up. We're down to our final 4 teams to see who makes it to the NBA Finals. Just to quickly recap, the final 4 teams are battling for the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics against the Indiana Pacers. I almost said Indianapolis Colts. It's the wrong sport. Right state, wrong sport. And in the Western Conference, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves battling the Dallas Mavericks. The winner of those, I really need to write this down more. Hang on. The winner of those games goes on to face the. It always sounds so much cooler when you have it in your head. Hang on here. The winner of each matchup goes on to face each other in the NBA Finals. There you go. And I gave you my prediction. I think it's going to be Boston and Dallas, but could change. We'll see. So let us know. If you want to hit us up on social media, of course, you guys know. Check it out, linktree.com/J_J Production Studios. Leave a comment. Tell us what you think. What are your predictions? What did you think about the series so far? I think that was full of excitement, more than probably we ever bargained for, which I don't know if we ever do. So it should be an exciting conclusion, I'm hoping. We'll see how that turns out. But to finish up things for tonight's episode here, I want to cover just a few topics that are teams that are out of the playoffs, teams going forward. We're going to talk about some major storylines that are going around. And I also want to end with some predictions for some teams I believe we will see either bounce back or be the playoff contenders next season, whether that's after a good draft or signing free agents, whatever the case may be. That great stuff. So let's dive in here. We're going to talk about probably the biggest story that's been circulating. I'm not going to drag this out too long because most of us know what this is. But the question is, and will probably continue all throughout the summer, what will LeBron James do? The reason this is such an interesting topic of conversation, LeBron James will be heading into year 22. He turns 40 years old. It will be 40 by the time the season gets underway. After the Lakers were eliminated from the playoffs, LeBron gave some cryptic messages through some of the interviews that he did. And I want to just touch on this, and let's start with an obvious one here. Now, he said even he doesn't know what he's going to do. I believe that's true. He will talk to family, spend time making the best decision, blah, blah, blah. All true, and I believe all valid points. I think the simplest way to put it is the end result will be LeBron will end up playing this upcoming year. But I think the more interesting question to note is where. Why do I say that? Now, I know most people agree he will probably end back in LA with the Lakers. He's due a huge bonus signing that they have to do yet. But it's just interesting when he doesn't fully commit to the Lakers there. Now, one could argue, and most people probably do, I've seen it happen a few times from some analysts that do it on ESPN. It doesn't necessarily mean it's because of the Lakers. LeBron just might not know what he wants to do, if he's going to play, and so forth. There could be some truth to that. But I truly believe that he will play. I just don't know if he's happy with the Lakers. Now, why I mentioned that too, is LeBron also had said during his post-playoff interview, I believe that's when it was, I watched a couple of them, I can't remember exactly what was where, he felt the Lakers could have done more. They weren't their healthiest. That was the question. They asked, do you have confidence with this group going forward? And he said no, because clearly if that was the case, we would have won. We would have still been in the playoffs heading for a potential championship. He also said Lakers were only at their best once, maybe twice during the season. Ouch. And the only times they were was when the NBA started the midsummer tournament, which the Lakers did win. LeBron had said that's when he felt they were at their strongest, and that's the kind of potential, and that's the expectation that the team had, that's who they were going to be going into the regular season and heading for the playoffs. So with those being said, I think it bears interest to note that is it more likely, again, he probably will end up back with the Lakers. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole, is Bronny going to factor that? If he goes into the draft, he wants to play with his son. I don't really think that's a major factor. It's been discussed too. I really don't think that that's going to factor in at all. I just think that ultimately, the case will be is if LeBron, and he might wait to see what the Lakers do this offseason. Now, obviously, having fired, if I say his name right, I just saw his name. Let me see on this one article here. I don't want to butcher it and say it wrong, because everybody gets on you in case. Darvin Ham has been fired. Who the Lakers' new coach will be, that might play a factor. How they rebuild or reconstruct the roster, I think says a lot too. That could be a huge part of it. So I don't think LeBron will be in a rush. And I think the first question, of course, will be, does he want to even play? That's got to be addressed ultimately before anything else. So we'll have to see. Time will tell. We're going to keep a watch on that. But that's my prediction. You guys, again, can share your thoughts, what you think too. That's my prediction. He will play. I just don't know for sure if it'll be the Lakers. But then it begs the question of where, when, why, and who. Can't say yet. We have to get more information, detail, and see if there's any reports that come out to kind of help pinpoint that location. But that's where I have that for there. The other big story is a big bust, and I had this team on my high priority list too for this coming year, the Phoenix Suns. And I guess you could say anything shy of an abysmal ending to their season, especially having made moves to bring in guys like Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant to pair with Devin Booker to be the trio three-headed monster that Arizona felt confident with going into the season. Fell short coming to the playoffs. The question circulating now is the only piece that could be movable, and I saw this article last night, is Kevin Durant. Now, Suns GM, I think it's James Jones, if I'm not mistaken, said they have no plans to trade him. I think, again, it's going to come down to what Kevin Durant feels. I'm certain he's going to play again this coming year. He's only going to be 36. Now, here's the flip side, too. And I know he was interviewed and asked this question as well. Kevin Durant has won a few titles. He has, been around the league for a while. As I recall, he said at this point in his career, he's just more having fun than anything else. So I think that's a key contributing and important factor. Why I say that? Well, we know it's the age-old testament of time that when players want an opportunity to win or feel they could go do that elsewhere, they do leave the free agency or force a trade, whatever the case may be. I don't foresee that being the case here. For two reasons. Number one, Phoenix does not want to part ways with Kevin Durant, as they've said. And two, I don't think he's that gung-ho to move elsewhere either. Unless he finds somewhere else fun and says, you know what? We could probably win here and have fun at the same time. So we'll have to see. But again, still under contract, and I feel like there's some clauses in that agreement too that makes that more difficult. I think a lot of it is going to buckle down to, again, what he wants to do, and I think that'll play a contribution for that. Probably also where he ends up going too. I'm sure he'd have a say in that as well. But I think the team will stay intact. I think Phoenix, and I'm going to use this as my last step, where we're going to talk about teams I think could come back, have a bounce back year, and be playoff ready next year. Phoenix can be there. If they draft right, they need a couple pieces here and there in free agency. They don't have to over-splurge or overspend. They could just very easily be back into the finals, which are in the race for the playoffs to get to the finals like they were this year. I believe that as well. So I think it's just a few other moves, trading away those pieces like Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, or Devin Booker. Not gonna adjust that. Not yet. You don't want to break apart the core of that group. At least give it another year or so, and at that point, if that doesn't work, then have those discussions. But plus, not to mention, and I'm going to mention this point here too, because I feel like Boston, this is why I said the Celtics need to win this, is because of salary cap ramifications and things of that nature, and Boston has splurged this year. This is why everybody is saying it's championship or bust for the Celtics, because they have to win it this year. because they have assembled a massive roster who I am super thrilled with. From the starting five to the guys off the bench, it's been a phenomenal five-headed monster. But the drawback and the flip side of that is Boston has invested so much that there's going to be some tough decisions to make in the next coming probably year or two, because they still have to pay their superstars, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, which are going to command massive contracts. So this is where things could begin to unravel. So I don't foresee Boston. I don't know. I mean, again, maybe Brad Stevens pulls it off. I don't know. We'll see. But those are the examples we have there. Now, for teams that could be back, I think the Milwaukee Bucks, we're going to start there. They had a rough season. They looked good. I thought they would challenge Boston for the East. They only began to slip up near the end of the regular season, which at that point they allowed the New York Knicks to overstep them and be able to claim the number 2 spot in the playoffs. I think that's really where things began to fall apart. But they still have a decent squad there. They can add a few more pieces. And I think if Doc Rivers is still there, which I believe, they have a great opportunity to come back. So look for them to be back for the East there too as well. I also forgot to mention the other move from the Suns, hiring Mike Budenholzer. New face, new direction might help too. We'll see. I don't know if that's a huge game changer, but that's at least a tipping point, so we'll see if that change helps. Just a side note there, I forgot to mention that. Let's see, who else this year? And I'm actually going to I need to pull this back up because as much as I used to memorize these all as a kid, I can't remember every single team in these sports anymore because, here we go. If I leave it up. Let me see. Denver, of course, we'll get the obvious ones out. Denver should be there. I'll give credit to the Lakers, depending on how things turn out. I mean, again, I didn't think they'd make the playoffs even this year, but let's see. You know what? Cleveland had a great run. I think the Cavs will be back too. I'm not saying 100% certainty, but I think they'll have a chance. They'll be back. They had a great stretch there. I think that's a surprise team. The other team that fell short that I think might have it if they tweak things well too is Miami. What about let's look for a wild card. I want to do a crazy prediction wild card team. I'm just scrolling through the NBA clubs here. Team that maybe didn't make it that you feel could make it. I'm just trying to think of. I don't want this to be completely outlandish or way out in left field. Actually, let me look at the standings. That's going to help me, too. I haven't checked the standings till the early end of the year. Let's see. Who's in the middle of the pack here? Let's see. San Antonio's rebuilding. Gone are the days of the Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan era, which is where I grew up. Portland's rebuilding. Houston. It's really a tough call, to be quite honest with you. And I'm not as familiar with a lot of these teams as I used to be. You know what? Let's do this one. I know it came close, and they made the playoffs. They fell short. And I know this might seem like, why is this a surprise team? Because, I think they were surprised this year, too. But I can't do that because I'm going to say the 76ers because I think they'll be there. I'm trying to find a team that didn't make the playoffs that was close. Let's see. Where is... Did they make the playoffs? Oh, yeah, they did. Let's see. Golden State's been on a downward spiral. Actually, yeah, I think this is one team I heard a little bit about. I'm going to go with this team. I don't know much about, again, and I'm not sure about the roster going in, but they were fairly close in the hunt. They dropped down. I'm going to say a team to watch to be surprised, if a surprise one, would be the Sacramento Kings. Now, I know that, again, I don't know much there. I don't know what talent-wise they have. They got a younger team, I believe. But the way that the Western Conference shaped up, too, and even in the Eastern Conference, if I had to pick a team from the East who could slide in there, I'd even say the Brooklyn Nets or the Toronto Raptors, because they were right on the cusp of the playoffs, too. It's just a matter of missing a few games here and there. Because of such the way that the league shakes up, especially when teams ramp up and are ready to play towards the end of the season, I think anything could change, anything could happen. Those are some teams that you keep an eye on to watch for, especially, again, depending on what the draft looks like, what free agency looks like, and if they got a good core put together. Anything is possible. So those would be my wild card predictions there if I was going to pick. In amongst the regulars who've been there, who can be back there, we'll see how that pans out there as well. But there you have it. Feel free to share, too. If you guys have your predictions, who you like, who you think will be back, please, by all means, reach out. We'd love to hear from you guys. That's going to do it there for the sports show. Our time has just expired. The shot clock violation came off there and all that great stuff. The buzzer went off. Game, set, and match. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys are having a great start to your week. Plenty more content to come. And, of course, we'll be back Friday night and Saturday night. More entertainment. Stay tuned for that. As of right now, tentatively, I don't have details yet. But I am making a plan to appear on the Pod Z Quad podcast this coming week, this Thursday night, which is May 24th? May 23rd, excuse me. Yep, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep you guys updated on our socials for that too. Keep an eye out for that. We'll be mentioning that as well. We'll share the link. We didn't get the video yet. I'll have to ask Dini for the time this time. I know he's been busy, so we try to share the links on our socials when we can too. So you can at least check it out on the official Pod Z Quad podcast there channel. But always a lot of fun. I can't wait to be back there, and plenty of great opportunities and excitement that I'm sure will follow. But for all of you guys, happy, healthy week. Well wishes to you all. Best of luck to every single one of you. Here's to the weekend. Here's to summer. Summer is right down the pike. You can feel it. We all can. Can't wait for more. We have plenty of great things yet to come. We hope you guys will stick around for it. We love you all so much. We appreciate you. We hope to see you guys along the way. Many more things are there to come as well, including special guest appearances. We're working on a whole pot of stew of different things. Many different things that could change, could happen over time. We'll let you guys know what that is, so don't miss out. Make sure you're following us on social media. Anywhere and everywhere you want, we will be there. Good night, everybody. Take care. We'll see you all soon. Goodbye for now. And of course, and as always, as you know, until next time, when we see you at the show. Have a great night.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. Be sure to check J&J Production Studios on Linktree for all the streaming services and social media accounts where our shows are featured. We love and appreciate all your support. And as always, until next time, we'll see you at the show.